All right, folks, how are we doing? August 10th, 2023. And in today's session, we're going to be talking about the Bank of International Settlements, also known as the Central Bank of Central Banks, blessing Ripple and XRP. We're going to get right on into it. But before we do, a quick message. We are going to be airing an interview that we just recorded with Simon McLaughlin, CEO of the Uphold Exchange. That's going to be airing tonight, August 10th, Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I hope to see you guys there. I'll be in the live watch party right there with you. Fantastic interview that we just had with the CEO of Uphold, one of the few exchanges that kept XRP listed, and so I got a chance to finally thank Simon personally, even though, he just took over as CEO of the company not too long ago. But with that being said, it was a fantastic conversation. I hope to see you guys there. Once again, that's at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, prime time tonight. Okay. So with that being said, folks, let's get right on into it. So we did get the ruling. I got to make a quick point on this too, because you guys were lighting me up in the comments section yesterday. So I put SEC appeals XRP ruling in the headline. Excuse me. In the headline there, I put XRP ruling and, SEC appeals XRP ruling. And you guys came out for me so hard. And I appreciate you guys for trying to keep me honest. But if you watch the whole video, I explain what happened, and I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger, okay? A lot of people were upset with me for spreading FUD. And if you watch the video and you watch the explanation, I was, explaining the fact that they are not appealing the ruling that XRP is not a security, but they are appealing the institutional sales and the individual sales of XRP. So in relation to XRP and the ruling, they are, trying to get approval to appeal. They don't even have the right to appeal yet. So trust me, guys, I'm not trying to FUD us out. I'm not trying to spread a false narrative. I'm not trying to misconstrue what's happening. And please refer to Jeremy Hogan, John Deaton, Fred Rispoli, and all the lawyers that have been helping us break down this lawsuit, okay? Huge shout out to Eleanor Terra for being on top of the breaking news yesterday. We dropped both those updates, and then we ran up a Twitter space as well that was lit. I actually had a former SEC lawyer in my space, and it was funny because she was saying that we are for sure going to see the SEC appeal, and then sure enough, an hour later, the appeal or the motion for permission to appeal dropped. So we'll see what ruling we get from Judge Torres, and I believe that the Second Circuit has to rule on that as well, but let's not get too lost on the sauce. Let's see how this goes. And just to be clear, the law of the land for probably the next 2 years, barring any more appeals or any other crazy stuff with this case, the law of the land as it stands today, the XRP in and of itself is not a security. That's the fact. Jack. Okay, with that being said, folks, let's get right on into it. Cryptocurrency update. We're going to stick to crypto on today's update. Starting off here with Putin, the big bad bear over there in Russia. Working with their central bank, they will pilot a real digital ruble test with 13 banks and a limited set of their clients starting August 15th. So this is the type of progress that we're seeing. We see Coinbase becomes the first publicly traded company to launch its own decentralized blockchain, Base. Now, that's a pretty bold move. In the middle of a lawsuit with the SEC, Coinbase decides to launch their own blockchain. Pretty bold move, right? What you're seeing right now is all of these central banks moving to pilot their CBDC rollout and move to, a stable coin or some sort of CBDC. Then when it comes to these exchanges, when it comes to these companies, they're looking on how they can get their foot in the door, get on that playing field when it comes to cryptocurrencies DLT. Coinbase, I wasn't expecting them to make this move, but once again, it shows the trajectory of where we're going. You're going to have all of these companies, exchanges, businesses, institutions, and banks that are going to want to have their own network. They're going to want to have their own distributed ledger, right? But they're going to need that interoperability with others. So I didn't read into what chain they built this on. I don't know if they built it on Ethereum like every other token that we've seen. Most of these tokens, PayPal stablecoin, they just built that one on Ethereum. Yeah. Okay, so it's just a base layer 1. So it's not an ERC20 token, it looks like. I was just reading this article real quick. You guys can fact check me down below, but it looks like this Coinbase token is a layer 1. So interesting move. PayPal went with Ethereum for their stablecoin. We saw that Palau's gone live with a US dollar-backed stablecoin on the XRP ledger on the public mainnet. And so we have 5 partnerships that have been announced with central banks, governments, to use the XRP ledger or the private version, the central bank private version of the XRP ledger. We have 5 that have been unannounced. And then we have 20 plus conversations that are taking place with central banks right now. Now, we did get this one as well from Wrath of Kahneman, another incredible find from Wrath of Kahneman. If you guys aren't already, please make sure you give Wrath of Kahneman a follow. Incredible researcher in the XRP community. Under the radar, this 2021 annual report from Banque du Caire states they have signed a contract with Ripple, noting they are connecting with 3 other partners. This confirms 2 Egyptian partners. Now, I remember Ripple also meeting with, the Central Bank of Egypt. I forget what it's called, the National Bank of Egypt. But I remember them meeting a couple years ago. But the title of this video, the Bank of International Settlements, Blessing Ripple and XRP, folks. You can't make this up. It's just another connection partnership. It's not a photo op partnership like so many of these cryptocurrency projects. This is Ripple being, seeked out for their advice and consulting on a cross-border payments interoperability and extension task force. This post put out yesterday by the Bank for International Settlements. The BIS Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructure has announced the membership of its cross-border payments interoperability and extension task force. For further details, look here. Now, from what I was able to find, Ripple is the only crypto-focused company that is listed in this group. Anders sharing this. As you can see, Ripple is on the task force. This is huge for Ripple and a great vote of confidence. It's great for Interledger Protocol, exciting times. And then when you go one step further, Anders shared this. Look who's the chair of this committee, of this task force. Check this out. Ulrich Binsel, Director General Market Infrastructure and Payments at the European Central Bank. Okay, that's interesting. And sure enough, he was a main speaker on CBDCs back in 2020 at Ripple Swell. So as always, the connections run so deep, further confirmation that we have been blessed by the central bank of central banks. We've seen the IMF, the World Bank, and the positive things that they've had to say, not just about Ripple, but about XRP as well. And we've entered a new reality, having clarity for XRP in and of itself not being a security. Now, how these institutions and banks can get XRP from Ripple, these sales to institutions, that's what's in question. That's what's going to be discovered through this trial or the potential settlement, right? But I really want folks to understand and, remain firm in their conviction. Don't trust me. Go do your own research. Go verify what I show you guys on a daily basis. But confirm your conviction in this asset, because we are going to be going through another 1.5 years of BS, this lawsuit, waiting for regulations to pass in the United States, and we have an ongoing crisis within the cryptocurrency space. Look at the manipulation in the stable coins, exchanges still folding. And then we also have the banking crisis that's well underway as well. Just another regional bank failed. That was just about a week ago. Okay, so although this is fantastic, we have been blessed by everybody that matters in payments and banking in the world of finance is essentially working with Ripple or trying to still create a competitor and failing at doing so. But with that being said, I just want our community to be able to make it. You guys already know the deal. 2.5 years in a lawsuit. Now it looks like we're going to be going into trial into next year. Q2 of 2024 is when they are looking to set the beginning of the trial dates. Now, a trial can go, well over a year as well. So that would actually push us out until 2025 potentially. Now, please don't shoot the messenger. Don't come at me. Right? I just want us to be prepared for, what could be coming our way, and understanding that there is still tremendous amount of progress, success, growth in the XRP Ledger ecosystem, and with the success of Ripple, the company, being chosen by these central banks, the BIS, the IMF. How is it possible that Ripple is the only crypto company being chosen here by the BIS to work on this cross-border payments interoperability? And remember, they just got selected and or approved to join the ISDA, the Derivatives Association. And so we're really flipping the switch, and what's being unveiled is the true plan for XRP and Ripple. As I've brought up so many times, and I will always continue to bring up the fact that Ripple stated in 2017 that, in their own words, they had a simple goal of making XRP a world reserve digital currency. What little startup company has a bold, idea, goal like that? Ripple does. And then we've seen the connections. Yesterday, we covered how Michael Barr, who was a former advisor at Ripple, is now in charge of basically being the supervisor at the Fed. He was put in charge of the banking crisis, and now he's being put in charge of overseeing the rollout of digital assets and the rules and regulations for banks. He's going to be supervising that from the Fed as well. So you see how Ripple is just at every single table, every single discussion that matters. And it's not just consulting. It's not just photo ops. It's not just let's be friendly. It's actually utilizing XRP, and XRP proving itself as that world reserve digital currency, and also slated to be the solution to the currency war and the debt crisis that plagues all nations on this planet, nearly all nations, I should say. There's a few that are in decent standing. There's a few that have already gone through the debt, currency, and liquidity crisis, and they've already reset their currencies, restructured their debts, and they've already, gone through a reset. The United States probably is going to be last, but the question remains is how is the United States going to keep the power that we have wielded for the last 100 years, basically, as the world reserve currency, right? And the world is demanding an alternative. The BRICS summit coming up here on August 22nd. It's all aligning, okay? But just remember, the chaos will be rampant for the next year and a half. They have no limit on how much debt they can run up. There's no limit on the debt ceiling. We're going to blow right through 33 trillion, over 125 trillion of unfunded liabilities. And what will the solution be? We know and we believe that gold plays a role based off the fact that central banks are buying more gold than they have in 50 plus years. And the second point that we bring about with central banks is the one company that they're talking to the most is Ripple. Not even close. Not even close. And that's the reality that we now have for Ripple. The new reality for XRP is having clarity that it is not a security. Is it going to be deemed a commodity? Is it a currency? FinCEN called it a virtual currency. Judge Torres called it a digital token and said that in and of itself, it's not a security. But we are still going to see this lawsuit continue. We're still going to see the FUD continue. And just please prepare for the price action that is going to be absolutely violent. With that being said, make sure you guys subscribe, hit that notification bell, tune in later at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be airing this fantastic interview that we just had, CEO of Uphold, Simon McLaughlin. Make sure you guys check in on that one. And on the way out, can you guys please do me a favor and smash it? God bless all of you. We'll see you in the next one.